Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Buckle up for this one. Buckle up. We're going to Colorado, Boulder. And poor Judge Kahn. Okay, what we're watching is sort of weird. It is court. So we're going to have Chris, the prosecutor, presenting evidence. Okay? But this is not court to find her guilty or innocent. She was already found guilty. She has already been banned. All the judge is doing is seeing if the ban is legal. Okay, he's just going to agree with the ban or not. So there's not going to be a verdict at the end where the judge tells her to put her life together and sentences her to blah blah blah. All right, it's a little different. It's called community court. If I press the button, there. Okay, so in the top right you see Chris, the prosecutor. He's going to be playing videos of what happened and explaining the videos as it happens. I know. It's still good, even though he explains the videos as they happen, literally minute by minute.
Minutes and 30 seconds into the video. All right, and then I'm gonna press play, and then I'll pause it for some follow-up questions.
Hi, Bran.
Thank you. And also, we need people seated, please. Look to the city attorney.
All right, I just paused it. The voice that we can hear clearly there, who is speaking?
That is the mayor, Aaron Brockett.
And then could hear another voice, not very clearly, could not really make out what was being said. Do you know who that was?
I do.
Who was that?
That was Miss Gonzalez.
And so what's kind of happening right now?
What's happening right now is Miss Gonzalez is in the audience, but is not seated in her chair. And the mayor is asking her to sit down, and then was seeking guidance from the city attorney right before it was paused.
And from your experience on that day, was Miss Gonzalez recognized to talk to the mayor?
She was not. It was not a portion of time where her testimony or speaking was in turn.
All right, I'm going to press play again.
The rule on standing is that there shall be no standing in the aisles or in any way that obstructs vision or audio of other audience members. Ma'am, if you do want to stand, you may wish to stand in the back. Ma'am.
So you will.
Pause. There was another voice there.
Background sound.
Let's pause for just a moment. We have audience members here, and I'd encourage the audience members, please don't speak unless you have something that you're called on as a witness to testify about. Having said that, if someone has an issue as to whether they can hear or not hear in the courtroom, they can identify, let our clerk know, and then he can let me know. I did hear someone indicate that they are not able to hear the sound. I think Mr. Reynolds, you have it as loud as you can post it. Is that right?
Yes.
And Miguel, do you have it?
Okay, what we're listening to right now is at the court hearing for the council meeting being disrupted. The audience had just disrupted the court.
As loud as we can have it here in the courtroom.
I can adjust this. Looks like it's. Not sure if this goes directly to those, but
I'll give it a shot.
okay, can we test it out and see?
Yeah, Mr. Reynolds, why don't you just go ahead and play a couple seconds? I think that's what the issue is, people be able to hear.
Okay. Let's see. I might rewind it just a little bit.
And also we need people seated, please.
That's much better, I think.
Okay, great. I might just play this portion again and then I'll follow up with my question for Mr. Meschik.
Look to the city attorney.
The rule on standing is that there shall be no standing in the aisles or in any way that obstructs vision or audio of other audience members. Ma'am, if you do want to stand, you may wish to stand in the back. Ma'am,
So,
All right, I just paused it. Mr. Meschik, there was another voice there that was coming through clearly. Who was that?
That was the deputy city attorney, Roberto Ramirez.
And again, there was another voice, appeared to be sounded like a woman speaking in response, not clearly. Do you know who that was?
Yes, that was Miss Gonzalez speaking from her seat.
And was she recognized to speak by anyone there?
She was not.
I'm going to continue to play the video.
you will need to sit down, ma'am, or please, and also quiet in the audience. This is a requirement of our, you do need to sit down, please. And if you do not, we'll have to call a recess and there will probably be consequences. Views are still being obstructed. Look to the city attorney again for whether this is in compliance with our rules of decorum.
because there are individuals that are behind her, she is obstructing the view.
Okay, we need quiet in the audience. Needs quiet in the audience. Everyone needs to be quiet. Everyone needs to be quiet, and no views may be obstructed. All right, this is your last warning, everyone, on being quiet. All right, we're calling a recess. Please calm down.
All right. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Mr. Meschik, what did we just hear?
What we just heard was the mayor, the presiding officer, requesting that Ms. Gonzalez be seated. And then when that did not occur, and then multiple people were speaking in the audience, the mayor then called a recess to the meeting because the kind of flow or operations of the meeting was being interrupted by individuals in the audience.
And you mentioned multiple people speaking. Was one of those individuals Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
And is this the first recess that was called by the presiding officer that night?
It was.
Was this on the agenda of City Council?
It was not.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to some other lines of question. Are there police who are present at City Council meetings?
There are.
And these would be members of the Boulder Police Department?
That is correct.
What's the purpose of having police presence at a City Council meeting?
Police presence at city council meetings is to be there to ensure the safety of everyone that's in attendance of the meeting. And they are there to assist if there are disruptions, or then take action if there's something that is a public safety risk to the audience or the council.
Since you've been with the city, historically, has there always been police presence at City Council meetings?
Yes, we've historically always had at least one officer present at city council meetings.
And in the last, let's say in the last year, has it been, one police officer at city council meetings?
No, typically we have had to have more than one officer present at city council meetings.
Approximately how many per meeting?
It has varied between 2 and 6, is what I recall.
And approximately, were there police officers present at this meeting?
There were.
Approximately how many?
My rough recollection is there are 4.
And do police officers have the ability to record their observations?
They do. Each police officer wears a body-worn camera.
And that body-worn camera, is that located on the officer's chest typically?
It is.
And if an officer activates their body-worn camera, does it immediately record video and sound?
It does not. My understanding is at the moment an officer activates their body-worn camera, there is about 1 minute of video that is kind of spooled that it will pick up, but the audio recording doesn't, or audio portion doesn't start until that moment they activate their body-worn camera.
And are you aware of any body-worn camera videos that were recorded on August 7th of 2025 at the city council meeting? Have you reviewed those?
I have.
Thank you. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen once again with what has been marked as People's Exhibit 1. All right, Mr. Mestre, can you see what I'm displaying here?
I can.
And do you recognize it?
I do.
And what is it?
This is the body-worn camera of one of the police officers that was present at the August 7th, 2025 city council meeting.
And can you see my cursor?
I can.
I'm just circling an individual right here. Who is this? Do you know who this
That is myself.
Okay. At this time, I'd move to admit People's Exhibit 1 into evidence.
Any objection to Exhibit 1 from Appellant's counsel?
No objection, Your Honor.
Right, Exhibit 1 will be admitted.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to again play portions of this and then pause it with some follow-up questions. So I'm playing the video, started at 00. Mr. Mestrek, are you surprised there's no audio right now?
I am not. We're in that first minute where there's no audio in the recording.
I'm going to just pause it right here. Mr. Mestrek, using my cursor, do you know who this individual is who's closest to the officer?
I do. That's Miss Gonzalez.
And we could hear the audio kind of come on after the one minute mark. Everybody's sitting quietly. what is happening with the city council meeting at this moment in time?
At this moment in time, the city council has recessed their business because of a disruption that occurred in the room. And they have left the room, and we are waiting for the room to be quiet and for everyone to be seated so that they can return and resume their business.
So would it be accurate to state that this body worn camera here kind of picks up where we had just left off with the YouTube video?
That is correct.
And so this is during that first recess prior to council coming back?
That is correct.
Okay, I'm gonna press play again here.
These are trying to say something about the children.
Ma'am, if you can take your seat, the council can return.
Okay, I just paused it. I heard an individual say, ma'am, if you could take your seat, council can return. Did you hear that as well?
I did.
And do you know who said that?
I said that.
And you had pointed yourself out earlier. This individual that I'm circling with my cursor appears to be wearing the same clothing. Is that yourself?
It is.
And what was the purpose of you saying what you had just said there in that video?
When a recess occurs and the council leaves the room, we have to wait for the room to be quiet and essentially for kind of decorum to be reestablished in the room. And so I am trying to get the room back to the point where the city council can come back to be able to reconvene and continue the business of the city.
And is your primary job, or was your primary job on August 7th here, to do crowd control, or did you have other roles in this meeting?
It was not my primary role. My primary role was to support the agenda items that were occurring, and then to present and participate in one of the agenda items that evening.
And so you taking this role on and reminding the audience to be seated and be quiet, does that detract away from what you were really there to do that night?
It does.
All right, I'm gonna press play again here.
Your issue, it's fragile. They're not gonna give ever a shit about your local issue. If these people allow genocide to happen, these people don't stand with the people of the world.
I make a request for the room to be silent. Once the room is silent, the council can return.
Do you know how much money we spend to Israel?
I'm gonna pause it again. What did you just do?
I was about to go in and let the city council know that the room had become quiet. Then folks started speaking again. So then I walked back up and just asked folks and let them know that, again, the room needed to be quiet before the council can return.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna press play.
That's your tax dollars that could be used to fund
Ma'am, I need the room to be
public
quiet,
education.
$360 million.
$360 million. That's your tax dollars. That is your paycheck that you're working really hard to make. These are local issues.
It seems like this week they've insisted upon having their housing paid for. They're like, hey, we're grateful for all these weapons and for all this training and for higher education that most US people don't get, but we want our rooms paid for. We want our housing paid for.
You don't live here, Susan. You don't live in Boulder.
She spends her money here.
She doesn't live here.
She doesn't live there. She doesn't live in Boulder at all.
Yeah, hubby knows where she lives. Yeah.
What happened to going downstairs?
She's a stalker.
I decided to come upstairs because I can do what I want. It's a free country. Peace to you.
It's not a free country, only for settlers like you. It's free for settlers like you.
Peace and love. Peace.
It's free for settlers.
I'm just gonna pause it. I heard somebody say something like, it's free for settlers like you. Do you know who is speaking there?
Yes, that was Miss Gonzalez.
Do you know who she was talking to?
I believe she was talking to individuals that were seated behind her.
Was Miss Gonzalez the only person who was suspended for violating the rules on August 7th of 2025?
She was not.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna press play.
Rich. You mean comfort?
Oh my God.
Peace is the colonizer's word. It's your word.
Keep please.
It's not the oppressed people's word. Our word's justice.
Don't engage
Look what it is, because you're a damn settler.
How embarrassing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is what your money's doing and your support. Are you gonna talk about the children that were starving?
All right.
Yes, you
I'm
are?
not going to talk to you at all.
No, he never signs
Oh,
up to
but
I'm
you
speak.
not going to talk to
He
you at all.
never signs up to
I
speak.
don't have anything to say to you. Nothing. Not
So
one
you
word.
continue talking to you?
I'm not going to even, I'm not, other than the fact that I'm going to just tell you I don't have anything to say to you, I'm not going to warrant your
So then shut the
presence
fuck up.
with a word, because I don't need to.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
You're totally not worth it.
All right, I'm gonna pause it there. Individual who just said you're totally not worth it. Do you know who that is?
I do.
Who's that?
And actually, can you replay that portion of the video for me one more time?
Yes. Let's see. 351. All right, I'm going back about 10 seconds.
I'm not, other than the fact that I'm going to just tell you I don't have anything to say to you, I'm not going to warrant your
So then shut the
presence
fuck up.
with a word, because I don't need to. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
You're totally not worth it in any way.
Okay, I'm pausing it. Do you know who that is now?
I do. That was Aaron Brooks.
And like, what's happening here?
What's happening right now is audience members engaging and speaking to each other, arguing with each other when the room should be silent so that the city council can return.
Do you know if Mr. Brooks and Miss Gonzalez are kind of like ideologically opposed?
From my kind of non detailed understanding, yes, they seem to be opposed and seem to argue with each other in my observations.
Do you know if Mr. Brooks got a suspension for this for violating the rules of conduct from this day?
He did.
Thank you. I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna press play.
There are no answers.
A lot of words to say that.
Because no one's gonna say anything to him, huh?
Nope, that's how we use our power.
Oh, there you go.
Do you want me to let you in back here?
That's really a great way to.
Stop talking to
The only
her!
person in this room
You
talking
do it to
is
them.
You look at
Aaron
her
Brooks.
as a woman, don't you?
You do it to them constantly. I'm just asking her to be quiet so this public
Aaron, we
person
can't
can be
hear
quiet.
somebody who
I
has
don't
something to
care.
say.
I don't care. I don't
I'm gonna pause it. You just got a little glimpse of a woman who is standing. I'm gonna try to pause it right where we can see her. Let's see.
Use our power.
Oh, there you go.
Do you want me to let you in back here?
That's really a great way to.
Stop talking
The
to
only
her!
person in this room
You
talking
do it
is
to them.
You look at her as
You
a
do it to
woman,
them.
don't you?
You do it to them constantly. I'm just asking her to be quiet so this public
Aaron, we
person can
can't
be
hear
quiet.
somebody.
Okay, wasn't quick enough. But Mr. Meschek, did you see the woman who briefly appeared on the left-hand side of the screen?
I did.
Who was standing? Where was she standing? Like, what is that part of the room?
That individual is standing at the podium where public testimony is given by members of the public.
And do you know why she's just standing there?
She was standing there because she was the person who was giving their open comment or about to give their open comment when the disruptions occurred.
Okay, so she's having to wait to give open comment until this disruption is settled. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to press play again.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. There's a.
I can ask him to stop, folks.
No, they do it all the time to these other people. Are you out of mind?
Can I get your attention, please?
They harass every single council member constantly.
Folks, can I get your attention, please? This is the final request for this room to be silent. This is
He
my
sounds
last
like
request
Sheldon.
for this room to be silent so that the council can return and conduct its business. By disrupting this room, you're obstructing government business, and so I need this room to be quiet so that this council meeting can continue and the business of the city can continue.
Just told me to be quiet, but you
I
told him.
need you to be quiet.
Why didn't you tell him?
All right, I'm gonna pause it here. You were just telling the room they need to be quiet, and then somebody started speaking with you, and I'm gonna circle the person who had appeared to be holding this piece of paper with the face mask on. Who is this individual?
That is Ms. Gonzalez.
And is she, by kind of arguing with you here, is she making the disruption longer than it would have been otherwise?
Yes, she is.
Okay. I'm going to press play once more, or again.
He needs to be quiet as well. Everybody needs to be quiet in this room. Thank you.
¿Por qué habla con el sionista? No habla con él. Está haciendo. ¿Qué me estás diciendo?
All right, pausing it again there. Could hear somebody speaking in Spanish. Was that Ms. Gonzalez?
It was.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
Press and play. Oh, okay. It's actually a good spot. So I paused it here. There appear to be individuals who are now entering the room from the back left corner. A gentleman here, and then a woman, appears to be a woman here. Do you know who these individuals are?
Yes, that is the mayor and one of our council members.
And so what is happening here? Why are they entering the room?
They are coming back to the room. After the room got quiet, I walked back to the kitchen area where they were all waiting to let them know that the disruptions had ended, to come back in. Then as I let them know, it sounds like, or as we can see, that there were some individuals who began speaking again in the room.
All right, I'm going to press play.
Shut the fuck up. Look at you. Where do you get a woman like that? She's following You kiss your mother with that
Let's
now?
get the meeting started back up again so we can hear from folks who come to testify, but that will require people to be quiet and to stay seated and comply with our other rules and procedures. Can we do that, please, so that we can hear from everyone who came to speak to us today?
Can you apply the rules equally?
It needs to be quiet.
I'm going to pause it there. Who's the individual who just spoke to the mayor?
That was Ms. Gonzalez.
And is she currently seated?
She is not.
All right, I'm going to press play.
Also, people need to be seated. I see one person who is not seated. You need to sit down so that we can continue the public comment.
Can you define sitting?
This is your last warning. Please be seated. Otherwise, we're going to have to call another recess.
I'm fucking seated, dude. You're such a fucking coward and dumb. You know that even Fear told us that you're a dumbass facilitator? She doesn't even like you. Psycho Nazis. Especially Matt Benjamin. I wonder what your children will say and your wifey who says I'm a feminist. Yeah, feminist for one woman in Boulder, huh? Not for the woman in Palestine, Tara. You're a fucking psycho Nazi.
All right, pausing it there again. Just saw you walk up to the officer and say something, confirm room. What was that?
I walked up to, I believe this is Sergeant Scott, to let him know that I would confirm with the mayor and city manager, but likely due to the disruptions continuing that we were going to have to clear the chambers and have everyone move to the lobby.
Is that a very simple thing to do?
It is not. It takes a fair amount of time and then creates additional logistical
Pepper
burden,
spray was
for the
in
meeting to
order.
continue.
Tasers were in order.
What's an example of the logistical burden?
Once the room is clear, then if it's still during open comment, we either have to then work to find the next individual who's speaking and escort them up to the council chambers one at a time, or facilitate them being able to essentially testify virtually from the lobby of the building.
Let's pause for just a moment. I thought you had something for me. Okay.
No, I just, it's been a
We
long.
continue. Thank you.
All right. Now I'm just gonna fast forward here to the 8:20 approximately mark. I'm gonna press play.
Folks, due to the disruptions, the council has asked that the council chambers be clear. What this means is that everyone will need to go downstairs. If you are here to speak in person, you'll have the opportunity to come up and speak to the council still. But everyone will need to continue to observe the meeting by sitting in the lobby. No one can remain in this room. So at this time, I'd like to ask you to grab your stuff
And
and head downstairs, please.
by observe, you mean listen, because you're literally not even broadcasting the video, right? Are we gonna be able to see the video downstairs?
Okay. And so what just happened here, Mr. Mistrick?
At this point, I'm informing the audience that we're clearing the city council chambers of all the attendees and giving them instructions about what to do next and how the remainder of open comment will work.
Would you say that there were any people who are in the audience here, as we can kind of like see on this People's Exhibit 1, who played a larger role than others in causing the disruptions that occurred in the city council chambers?
Yes, there were, as we saw in the video, there were certain individuals that were speaking numerous times and not following the direction of the presiding officer or of myself as a public servant, trying to give instructions on how to adhere to the rules.
And was Ms. Gonzalez one of those individuals?
She was.
Thank you. I'm going to now share a different exhibit. This is People's Exhibit 2, which is another body-worn camera, which has been furnished to Appellant's Counsel. This is the body-worn camera 1812 is how it's the number of it. Then I'll share my screen. And Mr. Mestrick, do you recognize this?
I do.
And how is it that you recognize it?
I recognize this as body-worn camera footage from the August 7th, 2025 City Council meeting. And this is showing the lobby of the building after we have cleared the City Council chambers.
And during this meeting, when the audience, when the chambers were cleared and the audience had to go downstairs, were you also physically present downstairs in the lobby?
I was.
And have you reviewed this video?
I have.
I move to admit People's Exhibit 2 into evidence.
Any objection to Exhibit 2?
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 2 will be admitted.
I'm going to play a portion here of Exhibit 2. I'm going to fast forward, let's see, to about the 2-minute and 30-second mark. I'll start it at 2:23.
I was gonna just speak as a person.
All right, I'm going to pause it. Mr. Meschuk, if you can see my cursor, the gentleman in the suit kind of standing on the far side of the room behind these two individuals who are kind of like facing the camera. Is that yourself?
It is.
And then the woman in the gray shirt and kind of salmon colored shorts that I'm pointing out with my cursor here, do you know who that is?
Yes,
Who is that?
that is Ms. Gonzalez.
Okay, I'm gonna press play.
All the time about my love for the Horatio network concept and my love for really
Okay, we just observed you kind of walk over towards that group, and you kind of gestured with your hands in an up-down fashion, and I believe I heard somebody say, folks. What was going on right there?
I was walking over to that group and trying to tell them that they needed to be quiet, to not interrupt the opportunity for folks to listen to and participate in hearing the meeting.
And is it kind of a function of what the city is doing there to try to allow individuals to participate in the city council meeting as much as possible, being in the lobby?
Correct. If we have to clear the city council chambers, and as you can see in the video here, chairs are set up so that it's very similar to being up in the city council chambers. We really need people to either be sitting in the chairs or standing in the back and being quiet so that everyone can hear the meeting, and that the individuals that are there to listen to the meeting can be able to hear everyone who is speaking.
Is there any other reason why it would be important that the volume of noise in the lobby not get above a certain level?
It is the noise in the lobby, if it is too loud, actually can carry up to the city council chambers, which is directly above the lobby. And if that noise is too loud, it can be disruptive to actually being able to hear inside the city council chambers for city council members to actually be able to even hear each other during the meeting.
Is it important for staff and city council meetings to be able to hear what's being presented or testified to at the city council meeting?
It is.
And what makes you say that?
The city council meetings is where the city council is conducting the business of the city. They are making decisions on things like laws. So it's really important that they are able to hear each other, that the community is able to hear their discussion, that they are able to hear testimony from those that are providing testimony when it is their turn to speak. And it is that dialogue that is the substance of the business of the city council.
And in your experience, does it make it more difficult to think about complicated, important topics if there's lots of noise going on?
It is hard to be able to focus on.
So none of them are parents?
Or to listen to what is occurring when there is noise or chatter or yelling that is kind of disrupting your ability to focus on the purpose of being there, which is for the city council to conduct its business.
I'm now going to fast forward People's Exhibit 2 to approximately the 5-minute and 40-second mark. I'm going to start it at 5:30 a.m. pressing play. All right, press pause. What just happened there?
What just happened there was Miss Gonzalez starting and then leading, shouting and chanting. And as you could see in the video, I was letting one of the police officers know that we had reached the point where no one else would be able to go upstairs based on the timing of open comment ending. And then the shouting and chanting started while I was giving her those instructions. And then I stepped over trying to get the audience and Miss Gonzalez to be quiet, which people did not adhere to.
And who is my cursor pointing at right there?
That is Miss Gonzalez.
Nobody would listen to me.
And based off of your observations that day was, you said that she started the chant. So was she kind of like the ringleader of what just happened there?
Yeah, she was the one that started that chanting.
Excuse me. I'm now going to fast forward to about the 6-minute and 40-second mark in this video. All right, I'm going to start it at 6:35.
I just want to say to a couple of the speakers who were bringing up what demonstrations happen at Gaza and comparing it to the Holocaust. It's a comparison that really is unnecessary. The work conditions in Gaza speak for the terrorism
All right, I'm going to pause it. In that video, it appeared that Miss Gonzalez was saying something to somebody near the camera about somebody named Officer Sterling making $200,000 a year. Did you observe that as well?
I did.
And then we started to hear shouting, and where was the shouting coming from, or at least partially coming from?
There were multiple people that were shouting in that moment, but Miss Gonzalez was one of them that started shouting.
And was she the one then who started shouting about Officer Sterling making $200,000 a year?
That is correct.
Okay, I'm gonna press play once more on this, and then we'll move on.
Israeli suffering is a murder champion.
Okay, I'm gonna pause that video, and then we're gonna move on to the last people's exhibit, which is people's exhibit 3. Stop my share. Share again. All right, Mr. Meschek, can you see what I've displayed here?
I can.
Do you recognize this?
I do.
How is it that you recognize it?
I recognize this as the body-worn camera footage from the August 7th, 2025 City Council meeting down in the lobby of the Penfield Tate, the second municipal building.
And have you reviewed this video?
I have.
I've moved to admit people's exhibit 3 into evidence.
Any objection to exhibit 3?
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 3 will be admitted.
Now
I have not been able to find August 7th, 2025, the community meeting. I've been able to find the courts for that day, but not the community meeting.
Fast forward through about the first minute. I'm try to start it at about the 1-minute mark. All right, so we're at 101 on the video, and who's the individual here who's in the middle of the screen?
That is Ms. Gonzalez.
Okay, I'm gonna press play.
Oh, tú también. We have to be quiet down here too, Chris, come on.
Okay, just paused it. I could hear a loud voice. It appeared to say something like, "We have to be quiet down here too, Chris. Come on." What was that?
That was a member of the audience kind of shouting or speaking back to me after I was trying to tell the room that they needed to be quiet.
All right, I'm gonna press play.
City Council. Can you also pray for them in your room that are not harassment? You don't care how like 20 people that aren't like far away, you know?
I just
Are you recording this shit? Okay, thank you. Te están grabando, güey. Ponte racista y machista. ¿Así te habla tu mamá? Tu mamá te educó.
All right. So, Mr. Meschuk, is this yourself?
It is.
And did you hear somebody just say, folks, I need something to that effect?
I did. That was me. And this is a different angle of the same interaction that we saw in the previous video, where I'm walking over and trying to tell the folks standing there that were speaking loudly that they needed to be quiet so that everyone can be able to hear the meeting.
All right, I'm gonna press play.
First, thank you, staff, for your great work to improve the safety and comfort of Folsom Street, making the central corridor appealing with minimal impact.
I'm gonna pause it. Mr. Meschuk, using my cursor, do you know what's like kind of like going on right here?
What appears to be going on here is an interaction between some members of the community, and then we see Sergeant Scott here stepping into kind of the middle of it to try and separate the groups of people is my observation of it.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to now fast forward this People's Exhibit 3 to approximately the 4-minute and 45-second mark. All right, we'll start at 4:40 here. Oh, so I apologize. I'm gonna start a little earlier. We'll try 4:29.
Thank you for speaking out for the Jewish community. I also applaud the changes to
Judaism, yes! Zionism, no! Judaism, yes!
Okay. Mr. Meschuk, when that chanting starts, how many voices do you hear?
When the chanting starts, I hear one voice, which is Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you. I'm going to press play.
Zionism, no! Judaism, yes! Zionism, no! Judaism, yes! Zionism, no! That's how chanting works, though. One person starts it. Judaism, yes! Zionism, no! Judaism, yes! Zionism, no!
I'm sorry, you did not, but you will be first in line for the next open comment. So please, we will reach out to you to make sure that you're still interested in doing that. So I'll look to our city staff to see if you have any responses.
Not for me at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
And revised rules of procedures do allow for a 30-second per person of council member response if anyone would like to do so.
That time is well.
I just want to say to a couple of speakers who were bringing up what the demonstrations happening in Gaza and comparing it to Holocaust. It's a comparison that really is unnecessary. The as I'm speaking, the same really isn't
So I'm pausing it here. Were you able, with the officer up here on the second floor of the Penfield Tape Building, still able to hear Ms. Gonzalez?
I was.
And it appeared that the officer is kind of hesitating to open this door. What do you think's happening here?
What I interpret from.
Let's stop for a minute, just pause so I can hear the objection.
Speculation.
Mr. Reynolds, you want to respond to that?
I can rephrase the question to not make it seem like I'm eliciting a speculative answer.
Okay, so for the record, I'll sustain the objection at this time and you can rephrase.
What is happening here?
What I am seeing in the video here is an officer going upstairs to try and get a water bottle out of the city council chambers. And what I'm seeing is based on the amount of yelling and noise that's coming from the lobby, that the officer is pausing to open the door as to try and not let all of the disruptive sound enter into the city council chambers.
Let's pause for a moment. Go ahead, counsel.
Objection, Your Honor. It's continued speculation about what the officer's thinking at this moment.
Mr. Reynolds?
Mr. Meschuk is just testifying as to what he's observing here. I think it's fair, given the circumstances and their role in security, that what Mr. Meschuk is saying is happening is a fair observation.
Your Honor, if I may.
You don't have to. I'm agreeing with you on that one. The statements that were made by Mr. Meschuk regarding what the officer's purposes were are stricken. I'm not going to consider that. I will consider the statement that the officer grabbed the door and paused at the door. Anything else would be speculative. You can continue,
I'm going to press play. Mr. Meschuk, are you still able to hear the noise downstairs when the officer's inside the room?
I can still hear noise as the officer walks into the room and then as the officer approaches the door to leave the room.
Thank you. Mr. Meschuk, after the August 7th, 2025 City Council meeting, were individuals suspended for violating the rules of conduct at the Penfield Tape Building?
There were.
And was Ms. Gonzalez one of those people?
Yes.
And has Ms. Gonzalez been able to participate and speak at City Council meetings since she's been suspended?
Yes, she has. Even if someone is suspended from entering the building, they are still able to participate in City Council meetings by being able to testify virtually.
And so has she had, do you know, one chance to participate or multiple chances?
My understanding from reviewing the sign-up sheets is that she has signed up multiple times and has spoken at open comment twice, and then during public hearings has testified twice as well.
And is Ms. Gonzalez currently, while she's under suspension from the Penfield Tape Building, welcome to participate in City Council meetings virtually?
Yes, she is.
Was Ms. Gonzalez suspended from the Penfield Tape Building because of any of the viewpoints that she was expressing?
She was not.
At this time, I don't have any, well, I have a couple more questions. Mr. Meschuk, has Ms. Gonzalez previously been suspended?
Yes, she was suspended one time before.
She was suspended before. She was banned from City Hall once before. This time she's banned for 364 or 5 days. I can't remember. I think they skipped a day, but I'm not 100% sure. And Monica, thank you so much for the cheers. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
In March of 2025 is when I believe it was.
And was that for violating the rules at another city council meeting?
It was.
How long was that suspension for?
My recollection is that it was for 60 days.
I think it just started over.
And that's in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Into
Okay.
the video.
So there was no ending. There was no ruling. There was no decision by the judge, other than long legal discussions of decorum and how people are supposed to act in a city council meeting and what happens if you don't act that way. So that wasn't like a hearing to find her guilty or innocent. She was already found guilty. She got 365-day ban from City Hall, or 4, I can't remember. And that hearing was basically just to check if that ban was legal. It was. She can't go there anymore, which is fine because she doesn't live there. Like they said, she just does not live there. So we're moving here. Let me space it better. Kristen. Hi, Kristen. There we go.
Matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Adrian Lamont Johnson, 25-03782. Appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Adam Pfeiffer on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jacob Starks, the fourth Assistant Public Defender here on behalf of Adrian Johnson. He's standing to my right at counsel table.
Thank you. Today was the date that we reset this. This was the originally set date actually for preliminary examination. However, the court did receive a formal request for a PA 53 violation on the 6th regarding unauthorized phone calls and video calls to the protected person, Randy Crawford, which technically the court did already arraign Mr. Johnson on. So a court will enter a not guilty plea on those violations. My understanding is that there's been an investigator already assigned and that they're currently working on the discovery as it relates to that. The court did receive, however, and I think there were some emails between the prosecutor and the court administrator's office earlier this week in reference to a request for supplemental ADA accommodations for upcoming proceedings. Is Brandy Crawford Johnson present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, you did file a request, and you can come and sit here for the purposes of if I need you to respond on this record in the in the witness box here. Okay, so the court received a request for ADA accommodations. This was after the court had advised you last week that you should get an attorney based on an affidavit and some statements that you made on this record that could implicate you for perjury and malicious prosecution claims, which are criminal actions. So the court has requested that you seek counsel, and my understanding is that you were not eligible for the public defender's office, but you've not hired an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I did apply for the public defender's office. I also appealed when they denied me, and then they called me and told me that even though I pay my own rent and pay the rent for my son, who was a senior at Michigan State, and I only receive disability benefits from the Veteran Affairs Office, I think it was just barely, I didn't qualify. And I called probably about 15 different defense attorneys, and I couldn't afford any of them.
Okay, so with that being stated, you don't intend to hire an attorney, you intend to represent yourself or your own interest, even in the statements that you represented to the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you understand that there's a risk of putting yourself into a situation where you could be facing perjury charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The court wants to also address your request for ADA accommodations. You said based on a panic PTSD symptom management. You're requesting permission to take breaks as needed if panic or dissociative symptoms escalate. By nature of how we run the court, if there's a situation where you need to take a break, the court always grants breaks. So that's not something that needs to be requested or specially implemented. You request ability to pause a testimony briefly for grounding before answering questions. I don't know what that means. Grounding?
Yeah, it just means that sometimes I have to calm down. I'm on Klonopin medication for PTSD.
Okay, we don't rush you, so that you don't need to request that. So you can breathe or take your time whenever you are getting ready to answer a question.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank
Okay. Access to water at all times. Water is available. Did you bring water?
No, I did not.
Okay, so how do you think you're gonna have access to all times? If you think I'm gonna get you the water?
AP Pfeiffer said I would have it.
We can get you what we give the jury. It's a very small bottle of water, but you're more than welcome to bring all the water that you need. If your ADA requires you to have access to water, I would have imagined you would have brought water with you.
That was just part of a request in case, how long it takes.
We can get you water, but this is the size of the bottle. Okay. So if you need any more water than that, it's best that you bring a water bottle. That's why I have this one. Okay. Permission to remain seated. You will be seated at all times during your testimony and under oath. It says questions to be asked one at a time. For the rules of evidence, they can't ask compound questions. So you don't need to make a request for that because they're not allowed to ask compound questions. If there was a compound question, there would be an objection probably by somebody. No yelling, raised voices, or hostile or intimidating tone directed at me. I don't know what you mean.
What I mean by that, Your Honor, is I felt that AP Pfeiffer had that type of tone with me at the last conference. And my son had to watch on YouTube when the conference was over, where AP Pfeiffer called me crazy. And I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and that definitely put me over the edge. Your son had to watch, you said?
No,
my son, he watched it. He watched because he knows your hearings are on YouTube, and he watched it. And then I didn't want to watch it because I've already been in, mental health crisis for a couple of months now. And I felt it was very unprofessional and against ADA law too.
What does ADA law prohibits someone from yelling or raising their voice?
Calling someone crazy at the post-traumatic stress disorder.
I don't recall in my proceedings, Mr. Pfeiffer or anyone calling you crazy. That's number one. Number two, your request, you're saying these are ADA requests. Asking for no yelling, raised voices, hostile or intimidating tone in a courtroom. First of all, some of it's relative, and what's intimidating to one person is not what's intimidating to another. I could be considered yelling right now, but I have to be assertive and I got to make sure my voice carries. And I also give instruction to anybody who testifies here to make sure their voice carries. And I've heard Mr. Pfeiffer give curative instructions to people that I want you to speak like you're talking to the person way over there. And so you're not going to be able to control either of their tone or the volume of anyone's voice when they're asking you a question. That's not an ADA requirement. It's not protected under ADA either, okay? You're asking for court intervention if question becomes adversarial, aggressive, or re-traumatizing. I don't know what is traumatizing to you or re-traumatizing. The court will not put themselves in a position where they have to figure out what might be traumatizing you. My job is to make sure that they follow the court rules. If there's questions that are argumentative, that's against the court rules, or if there's an objection, then that's when the court will intervene by the the nature of a violation of the court rules. But when it comes to just asking questions that you don't like, you still have to answer them. You understand that?
Yeah.
Ability to request clarification of questions, you absolutely can request. I usually give that instruction when I swear witnesses in. If you don't understand the question, just ask for clarification. And sometimes it could be that they just need to rephrase the way it was stated. Prohibition on threats of criminal exposure. Absolutely not. You must be advised that you could face, some criminal exposure by some of the things, especially under your circumstances. And never have I seen anyone so adamant that they want to produce documents to the court directly and on the record that could put them at risk for criminal exposure. And that's what we have here, which is why you were advised that you should get an attorney.
Yeah, Your Honor, the clerk was the one that told me that I have to serve that, right? So.
The clerk cannot tell you that you need to serve anything. You probably call the clerk to find out how to get something to the judge. So that was on you. You can't blame it now on the clerk that you sent an affidavit admitting to perjury.
Okay, I don't believe I was admitting to perjury, but I understand.
Okay, and then let's see. You asked for acknowledgement on the record that I am a witness with PTSD. I don't know how you expect that to be acknowledged. You are only allowed to answer the questions that are asked. And so if that's asked of you, that's fine, to the extent that it may or may not be relevant to the information being brought forth, but the court won't be making any acknowledgements that on the record. And you're talking to me, and I already have been advised that you have PTSD. So
yeah,
I'm the only one.
PTSD and panic disorder.
Yeah, so that's fine. You let the court know. I'm the only one making a decision in this matter. This is not a jury trial, so you don't need to make an acknowledgement to anyone other than me, and I've already been advised. Okay. Assurance that accommodations will not be used to assess credibility. That's not an ADA protection none of these things that you're talking about are ADA protections.
I was given the list
from who?
Sorry.
Who gave you this list?
From one of the officials that I talked to.
What's the official's name?
I'm not sure. I don't have it with me right now.
Okay, these are not ADA requirements.
Okay.
These are some things that you might like, but in this particular situation, I'm the one that assesses credibility. No one else is assessing credibility, just me, okay? No negative inference drawn from emotional responses, pauses, or needs for breaks. I don't know what that means. If you're talking about how we determine credibility, there's a lot of mechanisms used to determine credibility. You won't be able to control that, okay?
I guess I should have rephrased that better. I just would ask Your Honor to take in consideration that I've been in an active mental health crisis for a few months now since my father passed away and everything else I'm dealing with.
I can imagine, and to the extent that you need, some pauses or that you need a break or that you're emotional, the court does not typically just make a negative inference on that, other than the fact that you are emotional.
Yes,
so let's see, ability to submit brief written clarification if testimony is interrupted by symptoms. You are not allowed to submit written communication or clarification of testimony. Testimony is done here in court verbally and on the record. That's why I asked what official gave you this information, because we need to contact them, because this is not information that should be disseminated to people.
Your Honor, I'm a plaintiff in several civil cases right now, so the rules are a lot different. I've never been.
The rules are a lot different than what?
Where I can submit things, say things. So I'm just not familiar with the criminal court.
Did you know that I do civil matters as well?
No, I did not.
Yeah, we do civil and criminal here. So I'm very familiar with the civil rules. So that's why I'm asking you, what about this makes you think that this is appropriate, and even in civil court?
To have ADA accommodations?
These are not ADA accommodations.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
These are yours. I asked for the person who gave you this list because we need to ensure that this is not being disseminated for people to believe that these are reasonable requests. There's civil or criminal. Your testimony is on the record under oath in person, not in writing.
Okay, I understand.
Let's scheduling and environment. Testimony scheduled earlier in the day when possible. The testimony will take place whenever the court's able to get it taken.
It was a list, I'm sorry. And those weren't all just my.
Limitation on the length of continuous testimony. We will not limit the testimony. You ask the questions. Sometimes cross-examines and direct examinations take longer than others. I have no control. I don't know what their questions are. I don't know anything about the evidence. And now we have a bond violation, so that could take even longer. I can't limit that. The only thing I can do is give you breaks as needed.
Thank you.
Let's see, quiet area away from the opposing parties. You're looking for a quiet area away from the defendant?
No, that was on the list.
Okay, permission to leave promptly after testimony concludes. So once you're finished with your testimony, I usually ask the attorneys if you're free to be excused. They'll let me know if you can be excused or not, okay? If you're not able to be excused, there may be a circumstance where we'll put you in a private room.
Thank you.
And then you're asking for confirmation that ADA accommodations will be implemented and enforced to the extent that you needed ADA accommodations in the court. A hearing aid, ability to, get your mobile device in here. Some of those things, then we would make sure that happened. These things that I have here are not ADA accommodation or requests that are protected by ADA, I should say.
Okay.
Assurance that the requesting accommodations will not result in retaliation or prejudice. I'm the only one making the determination here. I'm taking the time to go through these one by one, so that you are clear. Whoever gave you this list should have been clear that these are things that you can maybe request, but they're not protected under ADA.
That's right.
And then accommodations to be memorialized on the record, which we've done. And so did you have any questions about this?
No, I would just request that if you have time to review the January 2nd conference where I was attending and where everyone had left the room. And it was just you and Assistant Attorney Pfeiffer in the courtroom. And that is where you could see it on YouTube where he called me crazy.
Okay, I will review whatever that you're requesting me to review. Again, you're not looking to hire an attorney to represent you?
I tried to, and I just couldn't afford when I was denied public defender.
Okay, my other concern is that I believe there was some level of request that you are asking to retract something that's out of the court record. You don't have the ability to retract anything that you filed with the court.
Okay.
Okay, so that will be, whatever you filed with the court will remain as part of the court file.
I was just told that by Attorney Pfeiffer that no one could accept it except the detective, so the detective has it.
I'm not sure what you're referencing.
He said that he cannot accept any affidavits or clarifications. Correct. And the defense attorney cannot, and the judge cannot. So he said that I have to submit it through Detective Kennedy.
Right, correct. So you can be in contact with Detective Kennedy. I don't know if she's here today or not. But that's your best bet, is to be in contact with her and provide her with any information.
I did.
Okay, very good. And so if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to let you go back down to sit, because I believe we need to address the timeline here for the exam, because I don't believe that the exam can go today because the detective is still working on the evidence, correct?
Yes, there's one other, again, nuts and bolts issue for the record, because one of the emails from Ms. Crawford said that she was advised that she did not need an attorney. I just want to make a clear record that it wasn't the public defender's office who advised you of that, right? They didn't say you don't need an attorney, correct?
No.
Okay, perfect.
Who advised you that you did not need an attorney here?
Pretty much every attorney that I called that was too expensive. They said that witnesses, you normally do not require an attorney unless there's a charge.
That's valid, that they would say that unless you told them about the affidavit you sent for.
Yeah, I told them everything. They just said that they don't even accept clients unless they have a charge.
They don't accept clients unless they have a charge?
Unless there's a charge. Most of them didn't even know what a conflict attorney was when I asked.
It must
them.
not be criminal attorneys.
They were.
It doesn't make sense. I have a criminal attorney sitting right there. Are you familiar with the conflict counsel?
Yes.
Because you are a conflict counsel often, aren't you?
Yes.
Can you represent me then? Because I've asked everybody I could.
And so, yeah, I don't know if you've been calling criminal. The conflict counsel is quite common.
I have.
And then there's a lot of times where witnesses have to have an attorney to protect them from saying something on the record or even questions that could, be self-incriminating. You understand your right against self-incrimination.
I tried. I called a lot of them, and most of them wanted $5,000 to $10,000 down just for 1 hour.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah.
For a retainer, but
I have a son that goes to Michigan State, and I have my own bills, so I have no way to afford it.
I can imagine. I recognize that you're strapped, but the court has done with the best that they can do. I can't make the public defender take the case,
right?
And I can't make you get an attorney. That I can only give you an opportunity to do that, to protect yourself.
Okay.
So we're going to have to move forward with this case either way. Let me get you. You could go have a seat, though. Thank you, ma'am. Let's see. What do we know a timeline of when the detective could have this done?
I think 2 weeks would probably be the earliest. There's a good number of calls to go through.
Ma'am, you're raising your hand.
Yes, may I say something else about Detective Kennedy? I called the Lansing Police Department and did a FOIA request for the police records. There's 2 different police reports, and they both told me that both police reports are closed, and they'll be giving me the FOIA request today.
I'm sorry, what police report are you looking for?
There's a police report from the day that Adrian was arrested, and there was a police report where I spoke with Detective Kennedy, and both of those reports have been closed.
Okay. February 19th at 9:30. February 19th at 9:30 work?
Your Honor, if I may just briefly just state for the record that Mr. Adrian Johnson is not stipulating to this request for an adjournment, Your Honor. He is preserving his rights to have his examination within 21 days. And respectfully, if the people are unable to proceed today, Mr. Johnston would request a dismissal at this time. I just want to make sure that the record is very clear.
I agree. I'm going to make the record very clear too, because we addressed this last week. The reason why we have to have it delayed is because there's been allegations of possible witness tampering. And how many alleged phone calls?
It was a good number. I just don't have
on a recorded line from the jail to the victim. So he doesn't have to stipulate because he has a bond violation from involving recorded calls. So the court's going to find good cause because I got to run all of this before I can run the exam. I got to address the bond issue.
Understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
You have your hand up, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I called the Union County Jail and talked to Deputy Weller. And I asked him if Adrian made any calls the morning of the conference. He said Adrian did not. And I asked him if he's made any calls to my phone number at all.
What do you want me to do with this information? Because this is called hearsay.
Okay.
And you're not even on the record. So what do you want me to do with it?
I just want you to know that he's never called my phone number.
I can't know it unless the person you talk to is subpoenaed in here under oath and questioned. That's the only way I can know.
I think he should be a witness. So.
Well, I don't pick the witnesses. Any other matters? For the record, the court's finding good cause to go beyond the 21 days.
No, Your Honor, nothing else for the record.
February 19th at 9:30 works for you, counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. I certainly, with the matter being under investigation, I will abstain from any further arguments about bond at this time, but I will request an opportunity to respond upon the conclusion of the proceedings on the 19th.
Very good. Thank you. Bond will continue. People.
Jamie Whitehair, Mr. Richmond, who is approaching defense statement.
Is this Donnelly on one of these? Oh,
she is, Your Honor.
Okay.
We're just gonna take a minute and watch this police officer real quick.
Let's see, Mr. White, your matter. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, so we're prepared to run the preliminary examination. It's my understanding. I'll let Mrs. Narrows talk to the witnesses. normally I would have no problem with an adjournment if the court were even to grant it. My only concern is one of the officers' testimony we believe was highly probative, and I've shared some information with the prosecutor in good faith, and I have no reason to believe that she would sabotage potential impeachment of this officer. But I believe I would not be doing him any service by not at least starting with this officer today. Now I let Mrs.
We should have let her start it because I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I asked you what you were doing. I should have asked her what's going on.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is correct, Mr. White, and I did have some pretty fruitful discussions about specifically his client's case in this matter. So the people have, I guess, two issues. One, the people did subpoena 3 issues as it relates to Mr. White's, 3 officers, thank you, as it relates to Mr. White's case. Okay. I was informed Wednesday that one of those officers, specifically Tyrone Weller, who I would have intended to call, no longer works for the Lansing Police Department and is, I believe, employed locally by the Grand Ledge Police Department. Therefore, he was unable to be properly served, given the last minute update. So the 2 remaining officers on that case, Officer Zuber and Officer Uberoff, are both here. I was advised by Officer Uberoff early yesterday that he has a appointment for someone in his family that he cannot reschedule today, that would require him to leave here at 11, which I understand is in 2 minutes. So all of that is to say, I would have to respectfully ask for a continuance if the exam were to start with my 1 officer that's left here, which would be Officer Zuber.
That's the officer you're referencing.
No, Officer Uberoff is who I believe my client would be prejudiced if I can't get to him today. He's allowed more time. So
prejudiced how? Yeah, I don't know how your officer shows up today and decides that he has an appointment. That's not for him.
Agreed.
That's where he leaves. Because he's got an appointment or his child.
I believe it is him or his child. I did not inquire specifically.
Maybe someone's with the child. I don't know how long his testimony is going to be.
It would be longer than 15 minutes. I can assure you that.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Your Honor, we have no objection to a dismissal, but I am trying to work with the prosecutor's office on this. We don't want him rearrested. He's basically just got out of a coma in the last month, and coming back and forth to court is challenging, but he knows he has to do it. So.
Okay, and what's going on with the matter that Ms. Donnelly's on? Similar issue or no?
No, Your Honor. No, there's not a similar issue. Those are separate officers. It's my. I'm sorry.
Those officers are present.
Yes. Additionally, while I'm of course at the court's mercy, I think Mr. White and I had discussed even if Officer Uberoff and Officer Zuber were able to completely testify today, it's a 50-50 chance of us maybe getting in a position where we'd have to ask the court for a continuance anyways because of Officer Weller.
Why is it that this would be a disadvantage to your client if Officer Uberoff specifically doesn't testify today?
So it's sensitive, Your Honor, and it would involve me making an allegation against the officer on the record, which I don't.
Well, I'm just saying, why is it that if he doesn't testify today, but he testifies next week, there's like a substantial change?
Yeah, so to be frank, there is at least there was something done that could be a Brady violation associated with his behavior.
Right.
And so I've shared that generally with the prosecutor, and I can only imagine she's going to inquire, and I'm concerned that not having him testify today, because the allegation does at least, I want to say not proven, but certainly something I want to ask him about. There does seem to be corroboration for the allegation that he would have an opportunity to, because we're already talking about a potential allegation of dishonesty. I'm concerned that the time.
Officer Uberoff's dishonesty is correct.
And Mr. White did, we kind of did go over that. I have not discussed the case in any capacity with Officer Uberoff.
Is he still here?
I don't know, Your Honor. He was when I last checked right before Your Honor took the bench. I am hopeful, but
Okay, we'll see if he's.
guessing the 11 o'clock time he gave me, he's probably held for 2.
Okay, we'll go off the record while we check, and we'll take Mr. Smith for now. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Willie Smith, 25-03738. Appearance, please.
Mr. Starks.
Yes, there he is.
Elena Cisneros on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
My apologies, Your Honor. Good morning, Jacob Sargent, fourth assistant public defender, here on behalf of Mr. Smith, who's standing by the way.
Okay, Mr. Willie Jawan Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, today was the date scheduled for a preliminary examination with assault to do great bodily harm, a assault with a dangerous weapon, you have carrying concealed in multiple weapons, firearm charges. And my understanding is that we're not prepared to proceed today.
That is correct, Your Honor. The people are requesting the court find good cause to adjourn the matter and thus waive the 21 days. Mr. Smith is being held on a high cash bond. This is the first request by the people. Specifically, Deputy Crowley did reach out to my office last Friday and indicated, late last Friday, indicated that he had a pre-scheduled week off. He would be out of the state this week. The people are not able to, would not be able to complete the exam without his testimony, and we would be requesting a brief adjournment.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Smith does not agree to any request for adjournment. He is not waiving his timeline. Certainly, it's understandable that Your Honor could find cause, but just to be very clear, Mr. Smith is not waiving his timeline. The defense is prepared to proceed this morning. If the people are unable to proceed, the defense respectfully requests a dismissal. In the alternative, Your Honor, if Your Honor is inclined to grant the request for adjournment, I would request the opportunity to be heard on bond, please.
Okay, the court is going to find good cause to adjourn because the deputy was on a pre-scheduled trip. So that's outside of everyone's control. And so with that, we'll have this matter set beyond the 21-day timeline. Let me give you the date here. February 12th at 8:30. February 12th at 8:30 in the morning. Bond is set at 2,000 cash surety.
200,000.
I'm sorry, 200,000 cash surety. And what is your bond motion?
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Smith, I respectfully request a reduction in that cash surety amount down to a low cash surety amount. Mr. Smith is not a flight risk at all, Your Honor. He has deep connections to the community. He has a lot of friends and family in the area. He works. He will, if given the opportunity to ultimately be released, he would comply with all the court's orders. These charges are very serious, but Your Honor, he is presumed innocent. These are just accusations at this point. This could be a rather lengthy process if he's not able to bond out while he waits on disposition of his charges. His connections to the community are very deep here, Your Honor. And with the use of GPS tether and other monitoring devices, certainly concerns about safety for the general public can be, and the complaining witness as well, could be addressed by utilizing GPS tether monitoring. So respectfully, I request a reduction in Mr. Smith's cash surety. Thank you.
Mr. Smith on felony probation at the time of these alleged incidents.
He was, Your Honor, and he has.
For two cases?
Correct. And he currently has interim bonds of $40,000 each while we wait disposition of
for the interim bonds. These matters, however, involved allegations that he made an assault with intent to do great bodily harm and or a felonious assault on someone. I'm looking at a bond report that he had an intimate partner relationship with. Is that accurate?
That is, Your Honor.
It says here that there's been threats to kill the victim or the family member. There was a recent separation in May of 2025. There's been an escalation of violence or risk-taking over time. I'm not so much concerned of flight risk. I'm concerned about protection to the public and GPS tether. I don't believe would warrant that. If true, it's the opposite, that your client follows court orders, because if he was on probation, he was not supposed to be.
If you lived in America, I would risk jail. Oh heck yes. I would steal that dog so fast. Oh, I love your dog. Oh gosh. I love your dog.
In possession of firearms or any other dangerous weapons, nor was he supposed to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. And if you're on felony probation for not one but two files, and then pick up something as serious as an assault GBH, facing up to 10 years on just that count alone, then the GPS tether is not sufficient to protect the public. I think bond was appropriately set at 200,000 cash shorty with GPS tether. Bond will continue as will the no contact order. Any additional matters for the record?
I
Nothing further.
always hope in these situations the judge will say, you know what? I'm glad you addressed bond because 200,000 is not enough. It really should have been $1 million. So that's what I'm going to do today. 1 million.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. What do we need? Yeah, I guess Mr. Johnson. Speak for myself.
Adrian Johnson.
Dion Johnson.
Okay, back on the record in the matters of Lance Richmond, and I think we need Mrs. Solomon here this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of defendant Lance Richmond.
No, you're fine. Jamie right here on behalf of Mr. Richmond as well, on a collateral file.
Okay, very good. Okay, it looks like we do not have Mr. Uberoff anymore in the building.
That's correct, Your Honor. Ms. Buckingham in my office was able to verify that. I also noticed that Officer Uberoff did email me at 10:58 this morning saying that he was going to be taking off as he indicated needed to by 11. I still have Officer Zuber here, but again, that would create, which the people are happy to start and continue an exam. But I know that the court is not always, does not always prefer that, but that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, when I start these exams and then I got to keep continuing, I end up with a full drawer full of notes. And I got to keep going back through to remember what happened. I take copious notes and that's great, but you see the pile is getting thicker.
I do, Your Honor, and I
continuations.
I do understand, and I know why Mr. White is making the record he is. As I indicated further on the record, I have not communicated anything with Officer Uberoff, nor have I been able to look into anything further.
Okay.
I know Mr. Richmond is not obviously in custody and does have other matters before the court. So I tend to also be a little unclear about how it would be prejudicial, but I understand the record that Mr. White's trying to make.
I thought the concern about the prejudice was about something that had to do with Officer Uberoff.
Correct.
I didn't think it had anything to do with his client. I mean, something else.
Nor the other officers.
And of course, the court's still very unclear about what that is. I think the attorneys probably know better about what the potential prejudice could be. And then Mr. White can determine if he wants to address that if this case is to proceed. But how did you want to proceed today?
Your Honor, at this point in time, I would ask for a dismissal, and I would just add one fact. This case has been lingering for a long time, and I will concede it is lingering because Mr. Richmond was in a coma and has been experiencing massive medical issues. But it doesnn't change the fact that the people, well, I don't blame Cisneros in any way. The people have had a lot of opportunity to make these people available. They just learned about Officer Weller a couple of days ago. Officer Uberoff is the primary arresting officer on this case. He certainly has known about it for a significant period of time, and we're just hearing yesterday that he can't be here for personal reasons. And I think that in light, and I do not think there's any relevance to the fact that he has a separate file with Ms. Donnelly. I think that, first of all, those files are not related in any way, shape, or form. It's been indicated by the people, not even the same police officers. So I'm asking for a dismissal, and I can only theorize that Mr. Uberoff not having preserved his testimony today could be a problem, but it's a real theory based on experience. And for those reasons, I'm asking that the case be dismissed at this point in time.
Your Honor, and just to clarify, I don't mean to muddy the waters here, but the case that Mr. White is on, that case, I would agree, has been lingering.
I'm very clear as to why it's been lingering.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
It was not
Additionally,
because of the prosecutor.
Correct.
I'm sorry?
It was not because of the prosecutor.
Correct. However, it also happened to be a case that we reissued, that we only reissued because Mr. Richmond was picked up on a new case, which is the subsequent case that Ms. Donnelly represents him on. So there's a lot of moving parts to all of this. I would ask the court, or I would advise the court that if the case is dismissed, of course, I would look into additional potential issues that Mr. White did bring to my attention, but it's there's always a potential for reissuance, rearrest, that sort of thing. I know the court schedule is very hectic. I would ask that if the court would entertain a very brief adjournment, if the court had something next week or the following, maybe that would help.
Yeah, I'm reviewing this file, and I know that this was reissued in July. The first court appearance, the defendant was late. He represented that he was going to be represented by Mr. White. I don't know if he had actually been retained by you at that time. I remember
There was some confusion.
There was,
He had, but
I remember that. Because I think I called your office and they said he had him on this file, but not this.
Yeah, there was some confusion. I apologize.
Correct. And so he came back on the 24th of July. I found good cause. And again, there was still trying to figure out whether or not your office would be retained on this particular matter. And then we saw the parties in August. You were waiting for body cam, it was what it appears. And then it looks like the defendant had some health concerns. And so the matter had to be reset because of the defendant's health concerns. So if I can make allowances, when you have health concerns, well, if the officer's child has health concerns, we have to give the same considerations. I don't think it's unreasonable. And if the people are just going to reissue, it's not in the interest of judicial economy for me to dismiss this case just so I can get it refiled and have to have another judge reissue and then rearrange it. We don't really have control over what your bond will be if you get rearranged, how you get picked up. You could have it reissued and you don't know yet that it's been reissued, and you come in contact with law enforcement, then you end up in jail. That's not in your best interest right now either if you're having some health condition. So I think we need to reset this matter. If you want to start with one witness today, that's fine, but that's only if you feel like it's necessary so that Officer Zubro does not have to come back. That's up to you all.
I would defer to Mr. White and Your Honor. I tend to feel the same about continuances, especially when I know fault of Your Honor has somewhat of a rotating APA at this moment, which.
Agreed. I think that it would be best for all parties to do it all in one sitting. Okay. And then obviously you can address the issue as it relates to Officer Ubra if it's a continuing issue at the next court.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Dismiss the case because the officers.
Work for you, Mr. White.
That's crazy. February 13th is going to be very, very, very busy in her courtroom. Didn't the perjury lady get set for February 13th too? I might check that one out. I don't know. I probably will forget about it by then. But I do too, Sandra. I love it. I made stroganoff last night that was so good. So good. And my daughter will never eat it. If you're here for court, it's over. It's over now, guys. Thank you for coming out. Yeah. My son did eat some, but there's mushrooms in it, sour cream in it. So, yeah, no, my kids don't like food. I love food. And I love serving, people food. I like making huge batches. Like when you were saying, bacon and eggs, I was thinking, man, I wish last night I would have, you make those French toast casseroles that you have to sit in the refrigerator all night. One of those great big sheets. You rip up the bread and you put in the eggs and everything, let it sit all night, and then you bake it in the morning with cinnamon. Oh, okay. I will. I just don't have my phone in front of me. I will. I'll put February 13th on my calendar. I will. My hair is staticking all over the place because it's winter. I can't handle it. I'm going to shave it for the next stream. All right. I'm going to start OJ in a few minutes. I need a little break. It's Monday. So I'll start OJ in a few minutes, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you all again really, really soon. I'm going to, Tina. I'm going to go down and get some right now. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Well, I thought I'd write a happy song. I found a chat room where I belong. You don't know how much it means to me. With such a groove, I'm less lonely. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her smile shines bright, she's got that grace. Come join the fun, it's a welcoming place. I can count on distraction from my pain, 'cause this creator takes you there and back again. Kathy is the heart here, always in stride. Her work is hard, but her joy she can't hide. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At Court Vibes, we laugh and we stay. Her style is classy, she's always top shelf. Don't take my word, come and see for yourself. Her cases are new with a twist or two. I really like them, I believe you will too. A little lifeline passed along in rhyme. Why don't you join us? It's a guaranteed good time.